Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Xavier Smith, and today I'm going to quickly go over cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So let's start with cosecant, which is the reciprocal of sine. Remember, if you have like sine, you're always going to have a co in the reciprocal. So that means it's going to be cosecant. If you have cosine, you already have one co, so you're going to have secant. There's no co in the other one, in the reciprocal. And then once you have tangent, of course, you have cotangent. So with sine and cosine, just remember, sine, you don't have a co, so that means its reciprocal is going to have a co. Cosecant and cosine already has a co, so its reciprocal won't have a co, and it'll just be secant. That might just be a quick memory device, that there's always a co and a no co. So secant is 1 over sine, the reciprocal, which means it is hypotenuse over opposite. So if we look at a right triangle, we have legs A and B and hypotenuse C, and we have angle X. So the sine of X would be A over C, opposite over hypotenuse, and cosecant of X equals C over A, which is hypotenuse over opposite. So here are our tables. Of course, whenever this we keep the inputs the same, the outputs are just 1 over whatever. So sine, when the output is 0, we have undefined. So what we get is that at the points sine would be 0, we have a vertical asymptote, and then our points start at 1, because if we have like 1/2, which is arguably a pretty low point, 1/2, the reciprocal of 1/2 is just 2. So instead of 1/2, we're at 2. So the lowest point we have is 1, because 1 over 1 is still 1. So we sit on 1. Well, sorry, that's like the lowest positive point. Then we have -1. So, of course, tables are reciprocals. Then where sine is 0, we have a vertical asymptote. And pi over 2, we're at 1. And 3 pi over 2, we're at -1 in the y's. Now, let's start with secant. Well, now let's go to secant, sorry. So secant is the reciprocal of cosine, meaning it is 1 over cosine, and that means secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. So we have angles A, B, and C of our triangle, and side A, B, and C, and angle X. So cosine of X equals B over C, and secant of X equals C over B. So, of course, reciprocals, adjacent over hypotenuse, and then hypotenuse over adjacent. Now, we are going to our tables. Again, it's just 1 over output. So inputs hold the same. Output for secant is just 1 over whatever the cosine value was. So again, our max, like our positive, our lowest positive value is going to be 1. And then our negative value, like our highest negative value, is going to be -1. So, of course, when cosine is 0, we'll have 1 over 0 for secant. So we're going to get an undefined. So it looks like cosecant, but it's just shifted over pi over 2. Because remember, at like pi over 2 to the left, it would look like, yeah, it looks something. It's shifted by pi over 2. So it looks the same, really, but it's just a little shift. At pi, we'll have -1. At 0, we'll have 1. At 2 pi, we'll have 1 again. And then our domain is x is not equal to pi over 2 plus pi n, because remember, at pi over 2, when we're vertical, the x value is 0, 3 pi over 2, vertical 0. So it's undefined there. And then our range is y is greater than or equal to 1, and y is less than or equal to 1. Oh, y is less than or equal to -1. Sorry about that. Now, finally, cotangent. So, cotangent is 1 over tangent. Tangent is sine over cosine, so cotangent is cosine over sine, which is the same as adjacent over opposite. So, let us start. Tangent of x would be a over b, but cotangent of x would be b over a. So we look at our tables again. They look pretty similar, don't they? They both have undefineds. So when we have an output of 0 for tangent. Of course, we're going to have undefined for cotangent. But when we have an output of undefined for tangent, it's not going to be undefined for cotangent. You're going to have to just flip that over, and basically it just means it's probably like 1 over 0. It's something over 0, which is undefined. So if you flip it over, it'll be 0 divided by whatever number that is. And 0 divided by something, anything, except for 0, is equal to 0. So we'll have 0 there. So it looks like tangent, but it's shifted pi over 2 to the right, and it's also like the negative. Like this left side goes up and the right side goes down. So the domain is x is not equal to pi n, and the range is y equals all real numbers. So I hope this quick video was helpful. If you need any extra help, I have made videos on all of these individually. So thank you for watching.